So I've got a question for you on this day. Who are you? Who are you? You see, for a long time, I thought I was me. It took a while for me to come to the conclusion that on this day, I was actually them. Sounds crazy, right? I can already picture the annoyance on your faces as you try to decipher what I'm really saying. Your thoughts echo those of the disciples, asking, why do you speak in parables? It may look like I have no idea what I'm talking about, and that could actually be true. Am I just another Peter, rambling like when Elijah, Moses, and Jesus showed themselves on a mount? No. And maybe yes. Because I would have done exactly what he did. Proclaim my loyalty to the one who was sent. Even if all others fall away, Lord, I myself will not descend into such foolishness. There's no way I would deny the Son, even if it meant taking a shot to the brain. And if I had been called into the garden with him to watch and pray, I would have stuck pins in my eyes if it meant staying awake. And yet, how many times have I let my friends pray alone? Or maybe a better question is, how many times have I let my friends down? Every time I've said their problems aren't my own. They too said to watch and pray, but sometimes, especially at night, I've just felt too tired to obey. So while they're weeping before God, just a stone throw away, a phone call away, I'm there sleeping. But still, I might say, I wouldn't deny the Son, at least not with my words. But maybe my actions are enough. For what are my works? Paul says that we can deny him by the things that we do. Our actions say it for us when they aren't the fruit of what we know to be true. Like Judas, selling the pearl of great price for a few silver coins, I too have had the greatest treasure. Then I've taken it and traded him in for my own pleasure. 30 pieces in my hand became a noose around my neck. Endlessly chasing my desires. Guess I'm just trying to build my empire, something like Jussie Smollett. But what about the Pharisees and the chief priests? They wanted to hold on to the traditions they knew, to the enjoyment of the thought that they were held so high in everyone's view. They weren't ready to love God with all of their hearts, and so the disputes they had with Jesus, many had to be put down, because this was all going way, way too far. For them, it was easier to have him killed than to open their eyes, than to see their own flaws and repent. Kind of reminds me of the times when I thought I knew best, and I could do what I want. Flipping the script. I must become greater. He must become less. Claiming to see, I became blind to the light of the world, hidden behind the veil of my own dark will. Now Herod, he had a will too. He wanted to be a witness to at least some of all the things he'd heard about, all the signs and wonders that had been passed on to him through word of mouth. But after talking at length to this brick wall who gave no answers back, how quick was he to throw him out? Probably about as quick as me, when I don't immediately get what I've been praying about. I mean, the clock's been ticking. I'm bored now. God's time's up, so it's time to find another way around. And if the God of all the universe is supposed to bow down and obey me, right, I guess he didn't get the memo. His inbox must have been full. You know what? He must not have hit that send or receive button, right? Yeah, that's got to be it. Or maybe I just didn't like his response, so I make pitiful excuses for God while I return his answer back to sender. And like me, Herod sent him back, all the way back to Pilate, to the man who had the power to set free and the power to crucify. But after he himself saw nothing wrong with Christ, after he had been told that even this power had been given him from above, there was one thing that Pilate just couldn't deny. At his heart, Pilate was a people pleaser. An internal war was being waged as he sought to release Jesus, but the moment he realized that this angry mob would not rest until their thirst for innocent blood was satisfied, he waved the white flag in surrender. How easy it is for me to know what is right, but choose what is wrong, especially when there's a crowd of people with whom I can just, go along. Like Pilate, I kill the Jesus in me when I'm around people who might not even believe in him, while I unleash the murderer, to hack others down with my words, all for the sake of fitting in. But don't you worry. Jesus gets resurrected in me again on a Sunday, when I'm with the brothers and sisters who share the name that I profess to claim. Swapping out the Son of Man in my attempts to please the sons of men. Such a Barabbas move. Come to think about it, I am Barabbas. I've harbored anger in my heart, unwilling to let grace soothe it into non-existence, also I could use it to give that person what they deserve because what they did was just plain stupid. Cut me off at a junction like that. What is wrong with this fool? The three-pronged phrase, I hate you, just an extension of my own depravity, for which I am liable to hellfire for the fatal stabbing my razor-sharp words have inflicted, as they cut and slice at their character in my effort to defame the image that God gave them. But thank God, that this horde of people chose to release me instead of Jesus. And now, in spite of all my crimes against the Holy One, I am the son who gets to walk free. How can it be that this Jesus should have to suffer the cross that was destined for me? Another stagger through the throng in utter disbelief, listening out for the usual sound of chains clink-clanking behind me, hearing nothing but the soft pitter-patter of my liberated feet. A loud voice emanates from within the crowd gathered there. I look back into the fierce gang and stare in incredulity as a man puts his fist in the air and screams, "Crucify!" He catches my bewildered gaze, and that's when I realize, it's me. It's me standing right there. I guess I know now what I didn't know then. I would only become alive by Jesus Christ's death. And now I see how wicked I am, how my own evil ways were instrumental to God's plan. From the beginning, the King of the Jews was born to die, but God, in his infinite wisdom, used my sin at every stage to achieve what had already been prophesied. And so again, I have to ask you, today of all days, who are you? Who am I? I am you. You are me. We are them. But together, for all who have believed and confessed, the risen Jesus looks upon us and says, we are forgiven. We are forgiven.